Right here from Indonesia, the National Police had confirmed that one was killed while 27 were injured in a multiple vehicle collision at the Cipularang Toll Road in West Java. And we will unravel those headlines momentarily right here in our program, but we will shift our focus to our first story right here, where doctors and workers have warned that condition might worsen for Palestinians in the northern Gaza.
A third of northern Gaza has suffered the most in a 13-month conflict.
Meanwhile, Israel has redeployed their forces to the area following claims that Hamas has regrouped.
As we previously mentioned in the headlines, the Famine Review Committee recently had warned that famine could be imminent in parts of northern Gaza as Israel forces conduct a major offensive in the area. They said that the humanitarian situation throughout Gaza is extremely grave and rapidly deteriorating, while the north had suffered the most.
They added that the famine threshold may have already been crossed or will be crossed in the near future. They issued a warning after the Israeli parliament passed laws which effectively ban UNRWA activities in Palestinian territories last month. These laws are expected to come into effect in 3 months.
The United Nations Relief and Works Agency has been procuring and distributing aid to around 2.3 million Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. They continue their efforts as the conflict between Israel and Hamas nearly reaches 13 months.
So people in these areas that have been besieged have not had food or water for 30 days, not from humanitarians, not from commercial supplies. They have been trapped. They have been fleeing from bombs. They have been fleeing for their lives. And this is why we have seen such a huge amount of displacement into Gaza City and other areas of northern Gaza. Because there is simply no way life can exist in these northern areas. There's just nowhere for people to be.
Meanwhile, the Lebanese Health Ministry said that the ongoing conflict in the country has killed almost 3,200 and wounded 14,000.
Victims including paramedics and health workers who assisted those affected by Israeli strikes.
A mass funeral was recently held for 8 paramedics and 2 civilians who were killed in an Israeli airstrike on Saturday. The strike was made against gathering points of paramedics in Deir Kanku and in Al-Baal in Tyre.
Some of the deceased were paramedics who work for the Islamic Health Committee, which operates under the Lebanese Health Ministry. The ministry added that the conflict between Hezbollah and Israel has killed at least 3,189 and wounded more than 14,000 and displaced around 1.2 million residents.
They said that more than 100 health workers have been killed, while 9 hospitals and 45 healthcare centers have been damaged since the conflict in Gaza erupted.
أول مرة شوف حالي فخور هالقد. أول مرة شوف إنه ابني متقدم علي. أول مرة بشوف كتب لي ابني ب30 الشهر بده يبوس جري. أنا اليوم بقول لكم بكل صدق طلعت عجرة لأنه هو قال بده يبوس جري يعني طلعت عجرة.
It had been past for 400 days what is happening in the conflict and the war between Israel and also Hamas for now more than a year. Now it is more dire situation that the war itself and the conflict now is crossing the borders to Lebanon, and the trickles of numbers of victims is just rolling really high. And hence that's why on the 10th of November there's the Riyadh Arab Summit, where the Arab and Muslim leaders have denounced the horrific and shocking crimes committed by Israel army in Gaza. The assembled leaders condemn in the strongest terms. And this is something that is very new also. Earlier, the Saudi Arabia Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman delivered a remark at a summit in Riyadh focusing on Israel's wars in Gaza and Lebanon, and now he has more comments adding on to his last or past comments. He said that he condemned what he called genocide committed by the Israel against Palestinians, and as I quote, he said the kingdom renews its condemnation and categorical rejection of the genocide committed by Israel against the brotherly Palestinian people. And the Crown Prince said in September that kingdom would not recognize Israel unless the Palestinian state is created. It's, again, there's been always this summit and talks.
Yeah.
And again, now Qatar is saying that they're taking out of themselves out of the equation because they have been trying to propel for these ceasefire talks since the month of May, and now we're coming to the end of the year, and there's no ceasefire deal as just yet. And we know now there's a lot of presidential election that's already been notioned, and that is the U.S. election. So it's going to be different policies and whatnot. There's going to be different people on the game. So everything right now is shifting in a stall. But the numbers of the victims are just trickling very fast.
Okay. Now, we're hoping for the best, and we'll keep an eye on that. But meanwhile, let's move over to Indonesia, where Indonesian Police Traffic Corps Chief Inspector General Aan Suhanan confirmed that 1 dead and 27 others injured in the multiple vehicle collision at kilometer 92 of the Cipularang toll road in West Java.
In addition, he also said authorities have hired psychologists to offer comprehensive trauma healing for remaining victims.
Indonesian Police Traffic Corps Chief Inspector General Aan Suhanan arrived at the Abdul Razak Hospital to visit victims of the multiple vehicle collision at the Cipularang toll road in Purwakarta.
He asked how the victims were doing and found that 1 was killed, while 24 were lightly injured and 3 others suffered heavy injuries.
Now, aside from suffering physical injuries, victims are also contending with deep mental trauma. Therefore, the Purwakarta police have hired psychologists for trauma healing.
Pertama, saya menyampaikan bela sungkawa atas kejadian kecelakaan beruntun di kilometer 92 yang mengakibatkan korban, ada yang meninggal dunia 1, kemudian yang luka ada 27, 3 luka berat, kemudian 24 luka-luka. Sebagian besar ini shock trauma, sehingga dari Polres Subang ini sudah Polres Purwakarta sudah mengirimkan psikolog untuk melakukan trauma healing. Itu sebagai upaya untuk mengembalikan para korban ini.
Elsewhere in the region, acting West Java Governor Bey Mahmudin recently visited victims of multiple vehicle collision who are now being treated at the Abdul Razak Hospital.
The collision took place at kilometer 92 of the Cipularang toll road in Purwakarta, Regency, West Java.
The multiple vehicle collision took place when a truck suffered malfunctioning brakes. 24 were lightly injured, while 3 suffered heavy injuries, and 1 was killed in the accident. Now, the acting governor said that he has contacted the Public Works Agency and Jasa Harja to focus on mitigating and preventing fatal accidents in the future.
This was done as the recent multiple vehicle collision was not the only incident of its kind to be taken or to take place between kilometer 90 to 100. The verifying road elevation in the area should be taken into consideration by road users, especially those who had driven large vehicles.
Meanwhile, as mentioned, the local police are offering trauma healing session for victims of the multiple vehicle collision. Jasa Harja is also set to provide monetary compensation for victims.
Yang kami pikirkan adalah tentang kecelakaan, bagaimana memitigasinya di kemudian hari, karena ini kan sebetulnya sudah sering terjadi kecelakaan, jadi antara 90 sampai 100 itu kan karena turunan juga, karena jalannya menurun kan, tapi juga ada perbaikan jalan dan sebetulnya sudah banyak rambu-rambu. Jadi kami mohon kepada pemilik kendaraan, khususnya kendaraan besar itu, pastikan bahwa kendaraan sehat dan juga jangan lupa untuk uji kir kendaraan itu, dan harusnya supir itu kan paham betul kondisi kendaraannya. Jadi kalau memang tidak fit, jangan dipaksakan.
So this is what happened. A multiple vehicle collision occurred along Purbaleni toll road in the Pleret district, Purwakarta, Regency, West Java at the kilometer 92 earlier on Monday.
Footage retrieved from a dash cam showed that the incident was allegedly caused by a truck that lost control.
And we'd like to remind our viewers the graphic nature of this footages. Viewer discretion is advised.
The accident has left the Purbaleni toll road side towards Jakarta temporarily closed, while 2 lanes on the opposite direction have been opened.
Vehicles traveling from Bandung to Jakarta are advised to exit at the Cikamuning toll gate at the kilometer 116 mark and enter from the Jatiluhur toll gate at the kilometer 84 mark to reduce traffic congestion. Evacuation efforts for victims and affected vehicles are still underway.
Meanwhile, officers from Jasa Marga Metropolitan Toll Road Representative Office 3 through the Jasa Marga Toll Road operator and the National Police have arrived at the scene equipped with ambulances, tow trucks, and other rescue equipment.
Let's move on to other news. South Kalimantan Governor Sahbirin Nur, who had been missing for a month, made a surprise public appearance earlier today.
He returns today before the verdict on his alleged graft case at South Jakarta Court.
Nur, who has named as suspect by the Anti-Graft Agency or KPK or KPK, was seen leading an assembly at the South Kalimantan Regional Secretariat office in Banjarbaru.
However, he immediately left after greeting several state civil apparatus. Now, during the assembly, the governor addressed food security, which is part of President Prabowo Subianto's program, to his personnel.
He has remained silent about his status as a suspect in the alleged graft case. In addition to Nur, KPK has also named 7 other suspects in this case.
Beliau memberi pengarahan terkait dengan sinergitas, kemudian peningkatan kinerja agar kita tetap bersemangat, kemudian kolaborasi dengan kabupaten kota juga, sehingga menyukseskan program prioritas nasional diantaranya adalah ketahanan pangan. Alhamdulillah juga beliau juga sehat dan terlihat beliau memberi arahan yang kita rasa sangat dibutuhkan oleh kita di provinsi. Iya, untuk tadi yang beliau langsung mungkin kemarin fokus untuk menghadapi perkara beliau. Oke, Pak. Oke, Pak.
All right, folks, we're up for our first short break of the day, but when we return, we have many more latest updates right here from Indonesia. Stay tuned right here on the C Morning Show, only on C Today. We'll be right back.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Christian Hansen. In this video, we will be exploring I have a new video coming up tonight, so I have to make sure everything is ready, but this has been a great show.
Introduced in the Meiji period, grilled beef patties known as Hamburg sticks became popular dishes in Japanese cuisine. Best served piping hot with a side of bread, soup kambing is one of those comfort foods that you just can't get enough of.
We try to cook all the parts of any animal we choose to cook with, like pigs, chicken or beef. We use the liver, we use the kidney, we use the brain when we can, we use everything.
Sudah dipastikan itu belum ada pengobatan yang bisa mengobati DM1.
Pernah berpikir untuk mengakhiri hidup aku sendiri karena waktu itu aku merasa sendiri, sama sekali nggak ada yang bisa aku ajak bicara.
Pada saat yang bersamaan aku sama papa konsumsi sebuah suplemen dan papa waktu itu mulai drop beberapa kali masuk ke rumah sakit. Vitiligo ini sebenarnya bukan kulit yang perlu disembuhkan, tapi mentalnya yang perlu dikuatkan.
Selamat datang di Potsi.
Terima kasih.
Woi, penonton bayaran ayo. Mana? Goreng. Uncle. Excited.
Lalu katanya dibilang SJW. Pertama ya karena gue nggak tahu apakah gue bisa nemukan orang yang tepat. Itu nomor 1. Pernikahan itu kan berat banget ya tanggung jawabnya kan.
Sorry nih.
Iya.
Karena kalau lo bikin film tuh pasti laris-laris. Kalau stand up tipis-tipis.
Kok itu jawabannya?
Iya kan?
Hello, you're watching C3 Updates with me, Indra Marfal.
The latest from Indonesia and the world.
Over 200,000 Palestinians working without jobs.
Presented in an accurate.
Expected to reach 4.95 meters.
timely and up-to-date manner.
Democrat Tim Walz and Republican J.D. Vance went after each other's running mates on Tuesday.
Only on Seat Today Updates every Monday to Friday at 2 and 4 p.m. What's happening now?
President Prabowo Subianto and Vice President Gibran Rakabuming Raka that took their oaths of office at the Parliament building earlier today.
Exclusive interviews and all the latest in entertainment.
We don't talk only about the money, but we talk about the timing.
Spice up your afternoon with a variety of up-to-date information.
Buenos Aires, Argentina, where Liam Payne passed away on Thursday.
Don't miss it, the 3-hour news show.